All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's Will B with the Blacksmith Podcast, and you already know it's Saturday, so it's our financial topics. Um, let's take a look at this week in the market real quick first. So this week in the market has been off the chain. So this past week in the market, I've gone up 14.5%, 13 grand. The market has really been booming. And if we could, I mean, you could pretty much guess why at this point. So my MVP stock right here, Robinhood. Robinhood Markets. Hood is my all-time favorite because of the business that they are building. Um, Becoming a one-stop shop, they allow people to borrow on margin. First of all, it's a trading platform. This is what's known as called it's known as fintech, financial technology company, right? So this is fintech. So it's a trading platform that also allows you to bet on different things like the election and sports and whatever. You can trade on here, you can invest on here, you can create an IRA on here, you can borrow on margin. They give you 4% on your uninvested cash. It's a high yield savings as well, and there's just more to come from this company. But Robinhood in the past week, 5% growth, not bad at all, not bad at all. I'll take it. Let's see who else. Nvidia now they need no introduction. Nvidia is just a power company, and everyone waits for their earnings calls every single quarter. They went down a percent uh, this past week. We're just gonna go over some of the big ones, like Palantir, one of my favorites. Also, they do a lot with government contracts. Palantir went up almost 6.5% this week. Oh, let's pick another one. Now, y'all know I love my SOUNNHOUND AI. In fact, that is what I have lined up for you today is the earnings call for SOUNNHOUND AI. Look, up 7%. Up 7%. Now, they are down year to date a couple percent, but I'm not even worried about it because their business model is magnifique. D-Wave Quantum up 50% in the past week. You want to talk about growth? There you go. And let's do the last one right here, quantum computing. Quantum computing, they did their numbers 34% in the past week. So that's what's in my portfolio really driving it. So you guys see it here first. It's not a joke. It's not a gimmick. There's no background music or anything here. There's no flashing lights. This is all real stuff right here. Yeah, I guess that's the last one I'm gonna do. Fig went down after a week. I only have one share because I was in line to buy IPO at IPO prices, but I only got one share fulfilled. So I'm still up on it all time. So I don't really care. Oh, no, I'm down on it. No, I'm up on it. My average cost was 33 and it's $56. It's down year to date. All right. Anyway, so that's how the market pretty much did this week. Look, if you really want to know, here's my pro tip, okay? Here's my pro tip. Get into tech. Get into tech. Listen, you want to do fintech, obviously, some financial technology companies. You obviously need NVIDIA, um, TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor. Um, I would say make sure you get into companies that are heavily investing in AI. Microsoft is like, they own like 49% of OpenAI, which is still a private company at this point. But if you want to invest in OpenAI, while it's a private company, technically you can do that through Microsoft owning almost 50% of that company. And when OpenAI is announcing going public, you better be first in line. Also, let me see, quantum computing. get into stocks that are doing that, companies that are doing that, I think you should have no problem. All right. So the uh, reason we are here, I was going to do the Robinhood Summit, but I think I may actually just break this one down on my own on a long video. But today, let's get into the SoundHound AI video. Let me start playing this.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining our second quarter 2025 conference call. With me today is our CEO, Keyvan Mohajer, and our CFO, Nitesh Sharan. We'll begin with some short remarks before moving to Q&A. We'd also like to remind everyone that we'll be making forward-looking statements on this call. Actual results could differ materially from those suggested by our forward-looking statements. Please refer to our filings with the SEC for a detailed discussion of the risks and uncertainties that could affect our business and for discussion statements that qualify as forward-looking statements. In addition, we may discuss certain non-GAAP measures. Please refer to today's press release for more detailed financial results and further details on the definitions, limitations, and uses of those measures and reconciliations from GAAP to non-GAAP. Also note that the forward-looking statements on this call are based on information available to us as of today's date. We undertake no obligation to update any forward-looking statements except as required by law. Finally, this call is being audio webcast in its entirety on our investor relations website. An audio replay will be available following today's call. With that, I would like to turn the call over to our CEO, Keyvan Mohajer. Please go ahead, Keyvan.
Thank you, Scott, and thank you to everyone for joining the call today. I'm proud to say we had our all-time strongest quarter in Q2, with $43 million in revenue, representing an increase of 217% year over year. That's up more than 3 times. We saw success across all key businesses. We achieved significant growth in our automotive business, significant growth in AI customer service for enterprise, and significant growth in AI and automation for restaurants. In Q2, we surpassed another record, processing more than 1 billion queries per month on our platform. Our acquisition strategy and execution is succeeding. Within just 12 to 18 months of each acquisition, we have demonstrated a repeatable turnaround story. Not only have we converted their pre-merger decline to post-merger growth, we have turned them into leaders in their field as fully integrated business units within SoundHound. Let me tell you why we believe we are succeeding here.
Watch how butter affects love
Oh,
handles.
Jesus.
The reason butter is called butter.
All right.
First, the companies we acquired had an important trait in common. They're all great businesses, have amazing teams, and have incredible solutions. They had already built strong customer relationships and had accumulated years of history and experience. Their business was highly aligned with our highly focused pillars of business, the disrupted category of conversational AI, where SoundHound has emerged as a leader. Then, SoundHound gave them what they needed to thrive. SoundHound gave them strong IP, replacing their legacy tech dependencies with SoundHound in-house models that are more accurate, faster, and less costly, with 20 years of data and innovation behind them. SoundHound made their customer experiences better while reducing their costs. SoundHound gave them strong financial backing for innovation and expansion. SoundHound gave them proven scale, strong brand, and credibility. Combined together, we have achieved and continue to harvest cost synergies and revenue synergies with cross-selling and upselling. To give specific examples, our first and second acquisitions are the key ingredients that enabled us to successfully launch our voice commerce ecosystem, our innovative third pillar. Another notable example, in Q2, we cross-sold the solution we brought to SoundHound with our most recent acquisition to a marquee customer of our first acquisition, which also triggered a renewal and expansion of their customer's existing subscription. Further, we are well on.
All right. So if you're taking notes, which I would most certainly be, SoundHound AI's CEO, he is not playing around at all. And excuse me, this is not AI. This is not AI. I didn't go to the gym this morning, so still kind of tired. And sorry for that. I don't pay for YouTube Red, so there's gonna be commercials when it's on YouTube. The in the bottom left here is the actual SoundHound AI call, which wouldn't have commercials in it. I couldn't find it this morning. I'm sure they sent it to me via email before. I was on the wait list for the call because I own the stock, so I could get in. But I couldn't find that, so it's on YouTube. Anyway, one thing he did say is that they are helping companies within 12 to 18 months increase their revenue, and they're making them intellectual property and stuff like that. And he said that voice commerce, the first customer, the marquee customer they had, the product they made to them, they got a product to the second customer, and then went and shook hands on that one with the first marquee customer. So I'm like, my God. So SoundHound is really, they're really doing it, but you'll hear some more a little later on.
Underway to eliminate the legacy cloud cost of all past acquisitions by moving their stack into our own cloud. And all of our solutions are migrating to Polaris, SoundHound's own multimodal, multilingual foundation model. We believe Polaris is the best of its kind. Last quarter, I shared that Polaris easily beats its closest peers, including the big tech, in accuracy by over 35% and in latency by 4 times while running at a lower cost.
Wow.
We continue to increase our lead through constant innovation. Polaris has given us significant tailwinds. As customers migrate to Polaris in production, they see the immediate benefits in accuracy and user experience, which now consistently leads to renewals, expansions, and growth. And when new customers test Polaris against their legacy solutions, they clearly see the benefits, and that is increasing our close rate. Polaris is a unique differentiator for SoundHound, trained with 20 years of innovation and massive amounts of data. And most distinctively, when we migrate from third parties to our own models, we can iterate and drive rapid improvements and massive acceleration in time to value. And we continue to innovate. Most recently, we have added Vision AI to our stack, which is engineered to bring real-time visual understanding into conversational AI systems and marks a transformational shift in how people interact with products and devices. This intersection.
All right, let's talk about that for a second. So, if you didn't know what a SoundHound AI is famous for, it's in the name, EA Sports, right? It's in the game. So, SoundHound, they do voice AI, right? But the thing he just talked about is how they are now into visual AI. And he did say like a minute ago, about innovations. Listen, folks, I don't know how old you are. I'm 39, but I saw IBM commercials galore, Intel commercials galore when I was a kid. I couldn't tell you last time I saw Intel commercial, and they're more relevant than IBM that's still afloat somewhere. But they're about to be screaming, well, son, because I mean, Apple, Microsoft, everybody else just come in and just blew them away. And, you know, one of the biggest things that's going to keep you afloat is definitely innovation. If you cannot innovate, then you cannot survive. And that's exactly what he's talking about. So innovation isn't just a term. They were in voice AI. Now they're in visual AI. That's 2 of your senses, right? So let's keep going here.
Between voice AI and vision AI is compounding, exponentially improving the use cases we can address and the ease with which end users experience when engaging with AI solutions. Our recently launched agentic AI platform, Amelia 7, is especially benefiting from Polaris. We were one of the first companies to bring an agentic solution to the market, and we are seeing fast results. This is also creating upsell opportunities to convert all enterprise brands to agentic in the near future. Our restaurant business is scaling rapidly, where every quarter our new activations exceed the previous quarter. This quarter in particular was driven by new wins and activations, as well as continued penetration into existing brands. In automotive, we continue to expand within existing customers and add new ones. For example, we just announced that our generative AI solution called Chat AI has been rolled out in North America with 3 more global brands.
Okay, so he said automotive. One of them that I wanted to give you, one of their clients is actually Lucid the Lucid Air or Lucid brand, they do the voice AI for them. So if you wanted to know an example of an automotive customer, that's one of them.
We've also signed several new deals, including a large one in China, representing millions of units, powering a prominent auto brand that's winning and expanding globally. Where the winners are, we plan to be there. With voice commerce, our solution to seamlessly bring convenience to drivers like food ordering, parking payment, and reservations, we are seeding a solution in the market that's never been experienced before. What started out as interest and a buzz from our announcement at CES has now developed to the point of advanced stage pilots and POCs with a number of OEMs. We are also seeing buy-in from well-known merchants and restaurant operators. We believe these first movers will ultimately motivate many other OEMs and restaurants in the near term. Last year was about investing in great opportunities, and this year is about realizing the benefits of the strategic decisions we've made to further commercialize our AI solutions. The three-pillar strategy we laid out a number of years ago is now rapidly coming together. With voice commerce, going live is imminent. This is driving strong demand in our Pillar 1 for products and Pillar 2 for services, as both existing customers and new additions are anticipating the powerful ecosystem we are creating and are racing to be a part of it.
Actors, we can make you believe we know what we're doing, when in fact, we do not.
Hey, sorry again, I don't pay for YouTube Red, so I meant to catch this in the lower left. It's SOUNNHOUND. That's the actual call itself. I meant to pull that up, but I couldn't find the email they sent me because I am actually a share holder in SOUNNHOUND AI. But listen, they are talking about voice AI, visual AI. They're talking about bringing on new clients. Though he didn't say the name, they're being nebulous about the company's names that they're working with. And it's probably not because of them. It's probably because the automotive clients they have and the other clients they have don't want them to mention the partnership just yet. Now, here's the difference, right? If this were NVIDIA, I guarantee they would be like, oh yeah, announce that we're working with you, because NVIDIA is already a household name. They're well known. And even then, maybe they don't want other clientele to try to run and work with them or try to get a leg up. So when it drops and hits the market, then you say the name. But SOUNNHOUND AI they're actually down year to date a bit. I think maybe 20% or something like that, but they were coming off of a really strong year. So I am not actually worried about them. Yeah, they're down 20%. But in the past week, they jumped up 7%. But year over year, they're 200%. So give them some grace. They're coming off a really, really strong year where they really was powering through. It wasn't a fluke. They're not dying out. They are innovating.
This is expected to drive future monetization in Pillar 3. With that, let me now talk about some specific customer highlights in Q2. In restaurants, we expanded the company's relationship with a household name fast casual brand, cross-selling the SOUNNHOUND Amelia platform to provide customer service support in addition to food ordering. We also added new wins with IHOP, Red Lobster, and Peter Piper Pizza, and renewed with Mod Pizza.
Y'all heard that? He said IHOP, somebody, and Peter Piper Pizza. I think that one I know is in Arizona. IHOP, was it McDonald's? I can't remember who he said, but I caught the IHOP and Peter Piper Pizza. Now, International House of Pancakes, everybody knows who that is, right? All right, let's keep going.
One of our existing phone ordering customers, Red Robin, added Smart Answering and now has both AI phone solutions for ordering and customer service fully integrated. And we continue to grow with our existing customer base, including an expansion with Chipotle and adding more locations to Firehouse Subs, Cali Burger, McAllister's Deli, Beef O'Brady's, and Casey's.
Ooh, let's go.
In automotive, we won a new customer with a major supplier in China to ship to one of China's top 5 and fastest growing OEMs worldwide. SOUNNHOUND Chat AI, our generative AI solution.
Hold on, real quick. So on this one, you said, hold on. there's a Peter Piper Pizza in Natty City. National City? Okay, okay. Fair enough. I didn't know that. Didn't know that. That's good. That's good to know. See, and so all right. Peter Piper Pizza. I guarantee you they're not publicly traded, but SoundHound AI is. So what does that tell you? If a private brand, a private company is expanding and they are now shaking hands and not just shaking hands, but holding hands with this private company and them with a publicly traded company, what's actually happening is they are helping more private companies grow than we even know of, unless they tell us like this. And then publicly traded companies like IHOP. And like I said, NVIDIA, he mentioned Red Robin, Firehouse Subs. He kept going because what he's letting you know is they are doing a lot of stuff in the dark. They are not NVIDIA. They are not Taiwan Semiconductor. They're not Microsoft. They are new kid on the block. And what he's letting you know is that they are putting down roots. They are putting down roots. You know, Chinese bamboo, right? Tallest bamboo in the world, strongest bamboo in the world. It grows like 1 inch a year for like the first 4 years. But that's because it is it's growing down, baby, Yo Street in a Range Rover for 4 years, right? Making the strongest root system possible. And in that 5th year, it shoots up like 79 feet. Believe me, they are like the Chinese bamboo. And when they start blowing up again, like they did last year, it's going to be, well, you're still early as an investor because look, it's only $16 to invest. You talk Microsoft, you're talking $300-400 per share. So you should have a portfolio that's in the hundreds while you can, right? Because when they start doing that again, it's going to be too late.
Continues to make it into new brands as well as being added into vehicles by our largest automotive customers, increasing the revenue per vehicle we receive.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So he said increasing the revenue per vehicle. He mentioned a company in China. So Earn Your Leisure was just over in China. More notably, Rashad himself. He was over in China probably a month and a half ago. And he got to actually test drive and learn about a lot of Chinese electric vehicles that they have over there. And apparently they are they are better than Tesla, is what he was saying in his opinion. The level of luxury, the level of functionality, the level of like AI and visuals, and the price. The price is absolutely cheaper. And there's like 20 different automotive makers over there. So if they're shaking hands, BYD, I think, is probably their most notable one over there. BYD makes some fire cars. I'm going to let this play and I'm going to put on some of the BYD cars for visuals, all right?
In healthcare, we signed with Primary Health Solutions to improve their patient-facing solutions, starting with appointment management and progressing into more complex use cases over time. We also deployed our solutions with healthcare system Alina Health to streamline and automate patient access and overall customer experience. In Q2, we were also delighted to sign one of the world's largest healthcare companies. In retail, we made deals to deploy smart answering with 2 multi-hundred unit personal care companies and a home services company with over 500 locations. The solution also continues to attract additional fitness chains and expand further into existing brands. In financial services, we already have 7 of the top 10 global financial institutions as customers, and the company either renewed or had upsell deals with 4 of them. This included expanding into new lines of business, penetrating across dozens of business units, and doubling automated conversation volume from the previous year. We are also expanding our presence in the regional bank and credit union market. For example, we recently signed with a leading credit union with operations across multiple states.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, it's his job to keep the power on. That's why he chooses Grainger for professional-grade products and next-day delivery, so he can rise to every challenge.
Yeah,
Call,
sorry about
click, or
these
just stop by.
commercials.
Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Next time, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to find this call right here so we don't have these interruptions, because this one, there will be none. But if you wait until they put it on YouTube, then yeah, you're at YouTube's mercy. But, I did this before, right? And if I can find it, I drew a picture of on a note card, and I don't see it up here on my desk, but I basically drew a picture of a little like sapling above the ground and the different root systems that SOUNNHOUND AI was involved in. And I drew, but just use your imagination, right? You see the ground, you see the little shoot, and here's a root in automotive. Here's a root in visual AI. Here's a root in sound AI, and that's the strongest one, right? But now you have a root in healthcare. Now you have a root um, in the financial sector as well. They are well rooted in what they're doing. They have spread out. So, what does this mean? If COVID happens again, right? COVID being our best example in modern history of a straight flip the world upside down on its head, uh, life changing event, right? If COVID were to happen again, and a lot of these businesses would go down in revenue and have to close doors, this company is so multifaceted they would survive. And that's what he's trying to tell you here. Sometimes you got to just put it in layman's terms, or plain man speak, right? Basically what he's telling you is we are more than taken care of. Like he's mentioned some of the customers, he's mentioned some of the names of his AI, chat AI or something. He's talking about Polaris. He is telling you that they are well situated to be monumental.
Together with channel partners, we expanded our relationship with EXL to deliver agentic and voice AI integrations across various industry verticals and use cases. With PAR Technologies, we entered into a partnership to extend SOUNNHOUND's reach across PAR's extensive portfolio of restaurant chains and their franchisees globally. We launched a strategic partnership with global QSR technology leader Acrelec to accelerate AI adoption in restaurants globally. To expedite the adoption of SOUNNHOUND AI agents across enterprise markets, we went into a sales partnership with technology services distributor Avant Communications. We also doubled the volume of interactions with a long-standing partner that specializes in customer experience and workforce engagement solutions focused on contact centers. This inflection with channel partners gives us a new catalyst to our accelerated growth story. One of the biggest opportunities for SOUNNHOUND is with our new agentic AI solution launched in May. While there is hype around this category, we've yet again achieved an advantage by moving fast to bring an advanced AI agent platform with true agentic capabilities to market. We are migrating 15 of our large enterprise customers onto the Amelia 7 platform, and we are working with them to build real-world efficiency-creating agentic use cases for their customers, employees, and patients. As a reminder, Amelia 7 is powered by a proprietary multi-process agentic framework branded Agentic Plus, which is a blended autonomous architecture that dynamically toggles between fully autonomous workflows and deterministic functions. This enables AI agents to act independently when appropriate, while maintaining guardrails and precision for sensitive, high-impact tasks. Amelia 7 allows for low-code, no-code development, providing flexible options for enterprise teams, including natural language Gen AI tools that allow non-technical users to build and refine agents quickly, alongside traditional low-code controls for technical teams. Importantly, it also integrates SOUNNHOUND's world-class proprietary Polaris speech recognition engine, which delivers speed, accuracy, and domain-specific understanding. It is implemented with end-to-end optimizations that also significantly reduce lag between user input and system response, creating a more natural conversational voice experience. We are delighted to be bringing this technically advanced system to market, backed by our decades of combined R&D in conversational AI, including over 200 patents with a focus on voice capability, which is poised to become a dominant user interface.
Hold on real quick. Take a look at their website, right? Take a look at their website. It's the only one you got. Da 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 da. All right. So look, it's showing you right here on their website. If you just go here, healthcare sector, right? Don't just scroll and look at these photos. What is BNP Paribas? Well, let's find out. Tennis tournament. Holy crap. So they're in sports. They're in fitness. They're in restaurants. They're in automotive. And this looks like fintech. This looks like, which he did say financials. And he said they partner with local credit unions and stuff. So right here on their website, I'm going to scroll through this while he keeps talking. But look, here you go. You want to invest in SOUNNHOUND AI? Look at the other companies that's working with them. I'm going to let him keep talking, though. Hold on.
That brings me on to one of the other SoundHound technologies that is catching real momentum, voice commerce. I'm excited to report that our voice commerce solution is advancing at a rapid pace. For those who might be new to SoundHound, the voice commerce ecosystem was once part of our future vision, but it is now gaining momentum with existing and new customers from different parts of our business. We anticipated many years ago that consumers would want the convenience of executing transactions on a platform that seamlessly brings the services they enjoy directly to their connected products, and that this would all come together in one environment. For example, a driver being able to use their natural speech through their in-vehicle voice assistant to place an on-the-go order for coffee or food from their favorite restaurant and have it be available to them upon arrival without having to wait in line. We wanted to make it easy, intuitive, and available via the most natural modality we have available to us, the human voice. For us, that means the users of products powered by our voice assistant, our Pillar 1, can transact with businesses that are powered by our AI customer service offering, our Pillar 2. The way this works is through our Pillar 3, which connects both on a single platform to delight the end user. We talked about signing multiple pilots and POCs earlier this year. These engagements are going well and moving fast. We expect this to create the flywheel we had envisioned. We have large automotive brands in Europe and the USA, both existing customers and new car brands, with participation from prominent national and global merchants for food ordering, coffee, parking, and more. We're also on track to launch partnerships.
Real quick, y'all see right here? I keep going to the wrong one, so let's just close that one. They have a SoundHound. They're in music. They have their own app for music. Love SoundHound. Whoo, I didn't even know this. Well, there's another big root in the ground for you right there. I may actually try this one out. But this, if you want to know what a great company looks like, and if you want to know should you invest in a company, then it better look like this. It better have roots in different arenas. It better to ensure that they are held up. They better be able to tell you who they're partnered with. They better be able to tell you different innovations that they have made. They better be able to show you the financials and how those innovations are actually working. Partnerships, either temporary or long-term partnerships. They better be able to show you this stuff and speak as confidently and as competently as this guy right here.
Partnerships with platform giants later this year to offer our voice ordering to their many millions of users.
This is who's speaking.
This not only emphasizes the power of the technology we have built, but also gives us confidence in the demand for users to have a safe, convenient, hands-free option when performing transactions from their vehicles or devices. This speaks to the rapid innovation at SoundHound. The developments we are making are impressing the larger platforms, in particular, the way we can now support a much broader scope of LLM conversations in the context of voice commerce. That's bringing their interest as well as large merchants, QSRs, and OEMs alike. In closing, we are pleased to have reported such a strong quarter where all businesses were up. We built a strong pipeline to start the year, and that's not only now showing up in our results, but it's growing as we create more value for the end user. Our acquisitions are turning into repeatable success stories. We are pioneering our platform with agentic AI, and that's resonating with customers. We are also leveraging our advanced technology to bring opportunities to enterprises, automakers, and restaurants that they have been waiting for. The voice commerce ecosystem we are building is bringing real-time AI agents that larger platforms want to partner with, and OEMs and merchants are racing to be a part of. Our three-pillar strategy is no longer three separate offerings, but is forming an ecosystem, creating AI value to businesses, and quickly becoming a necessity for them to differentiate themselves and strive. With that, I'll now turn the call over to Nitesh to talk about our financial performance, key growth drivers, and business outlook.
Thank you, Keyvan, and good afternoon, everyone. Q2 is a big quarter for us, with $42.7 million in revenue, up 217% year over year. With sustained high demand for our AI solutions, it's becoming more evident each quarter that passes that voice AI is increasingly sharpening as the spearhead of this Gen AI era.
I'm pretty sure this is the CFO. Usually they come into the call, it's the CEO, will talk about financials and talk about different things that they're doing, and then they turn it over to the money man, the CFO.
We are seeing traction across all industry verticals and in all pillars of our business. Enterprise AI grew with strong execution and clear focus, while restaurants added new logos and scaled existing relationships. And auto saw strong growth with a major new win and continued scaling of our new generative AI offerings. Our solutions are resonating with customers, and we keep elevating our technological differentiation against the rest of the marketplace. One of the driving forces behind the strong execution comes from early successes in the integration of our acquisitions. We have recatalyzed those businesses, completely shifting their growth trajectories and driving step function improvements in close and renewal rates. We have integrated technology and product stacks, which has led to much faster product cycles and greater time to value for customers. Let me share some data points that illustrate this. With Sync 3, we have fully displaced third-party ASR engines across all restaurant customers with Polaris, delivering us millions in cost savings while improving performance for customers and generating faster iteration cycles for developers. In Amelia, pre-acquisition sales attainment levels of nearly 40% have completely reversed to greater than 100% this quarter, demonstrating the resonance of our combined solutions to customers and validating our investment thesis. Net revenue retention jumped from less than 90% pre-acquisition to over 120% this quarter, largely due to better product performance and also resulting from our investments in customer success. Keyvan discussed the exciting major win where we cross-sold product solutions into one of the largest and most innovative QSRs. And not to be lost in the shuffle, operationally, we have now fully integrated 3 disparate ERP systems into one, providing a common platform with better controls, streamlined processes, and deeper business insights. We know the tech landscape is shifting rapidly with the Cambrian explosion of new innovation and players emerging every week. And having solidified our integration muscle, this is one more competitive differentiator in our toolkit that we can leverage as we accelerate forward. The net impact is continued strong momentum underpinning the reported financials. Within our product pillar, we continue to see strong 50+% growth in our active cloud users. The number of active restaurants using our voice AI ordering solutions now exceeds 14,000 locations, adding an additional 1,000 locations and roughly 1 million new interactions in Q2, further extending our market leadership position. In the enterprise, Q2 is our highest number of monthly go-lives, demonstrating the increased speed of deployment, and we saw a massive sequential improvement in total volume, illustrating the value we are delivering for some of the largest and most complex global companies. and queries into our voice AI engine overall continue to accelerate. We are now getting nearly 3 billion queries a quarter. Compared to last year at this time, that's more than a 100% increase.
Tell them.
With that, let me now discuss the second quarter financials in more detail. Q2 revenue was $42.7 million, up 217% year over year. This was driven by a strong revenue contribution from enterprise AI, with automotive and restaurants also contributing strong year-over-year growth. Our Q2 introduction of agentic AI is a tailwind across the business, and our channel investments are starting to pay dividends and have made a strong contribution, with expanded enterprise channel partnerships and deeper penetration with existing partners. In automotive, we signed a new OEM in China and saw a double-digit increase in ASPs, primarily from further expansion of our generative AI solutions. Within restaurants, we once again accelerated location go-lives quarter over quarter, resulting in a step-up of revenue. We continue to see strong customer diversification, and through the first half, we don't have any customers contributing greater than 10% of our revenue. In Q2, our GAAP gross margin was 39%, down year over year, primarily due to the impact of the business and product mix of recent acquisitions. Adjusted for non-cash amortization of purchased intangibles and employee stock compensation, our non-GAAP gross margin was 58%. However, both metrics were up sequentially as we continue to realize improvements from acquisition synergies and drive a better product mix. We expect more cost synergies in areas such as cloud spend to take shape in the coming quarters as well. Inference costs on like-for-like models are rapidly declining, although that is offset by the rapid adoption of new models that continue to deliver seemingly new, amazing breakthroughs each and every quarter. And we are still evaluating low-margin contracts as they come up for renewal and identify other areas to improve efficiency. R&D expenses were $25.8 million in Q2, reflecting a 64% year-over-year increase, primarily driven by our acquisitions and in particular, headcount and headcount-related costs. We also continue to invest in the ongoing enhancements of our speech foundation model, Polaris, which is delivering meaningful benefits to customers. As Kayvon highlighted, Polaris brings step change improvements in performance, enabling us to rapidly incorporate cutting-edge research into our product offerings in cycles that were simply not possible in the pre-LLM era. This accelerated innovation loop reinforces our confidence in delivering long-term value to our customers. And our research and innovation agenda has much broader reach as we expand multimodal, omni-channel solutions that accelerate us into the next era of human-computer interfaces. Sales and marketing expenses were $15.8 million in Q2, reflecting a 180% year-over-year increase, primarily driven by acquisitions. We continue to invest aggressively in capturing growth opportunities through direct sales, customer support, channel expansion, and a range of digital and physical demand generation initiatives. These efforts are fueling a robust and expanding pipeline of opportunities. G&A expenses were $18.2 million in Q2, reflecting a 91% year-over-year increase, primarily driven by our acquisitions. Sequentially, G&A costs remained stable, reflecting disciplined efforts to strengthen our control environment and streamline post-acquisition integration. We continue to drive efficiencies in our infrastructure spend while creating capacity to invest in modernization. We had non-cash employee stock compensation of $23.8 million and depreciation and amortization, including the amortization of intangibles, of $7.8 million in Q2, all of which are included in our GAAP results. The step-up in stock-based compensation in Q2 was partly the result of a small workforce reduction program as a result of our acquisition integration, with modest impact from the inclusion of one-time separation packages that we don't expect to repeat going forward. Our Q2 financials include a loss related to the change in fair value of contingent liabilities, significantly impacting our GAAP income from operations in Q2 by approximately $31 million. Just a quick reminder, this stems from the acquisitions we have completed and is a non-operating and non-cash expense, and primarily reflects the quarter-on-quarter increase in our stock price. As such, this item has been excluded in our non-GAAP results. Adjusted EBITDA was a loss of $14.3 million, OI&E was $4.6 million income for the quarter. GAAP net loss of $74.7 million and GAAP net loss per share of 19 cents were negatively impacted by the change in fair value of contingent liabilities mentioned before. Non-GAAP net loss was $11.9 million, and non-GAAP net loss per share was 3 cents in the quarter. This adjusts for non-cash depreciation and amortization, M&A transaction costs, stock-based comp, and other non-cash items. Our balance sheet remains strong, with cash and equivalents at quarter end of $230 million and no debt. With that, let me discuss our financial outlook. Q2 was clearly...
All right, before he continues with the Q2 financials, do not be bored by that stuff. Listen, if you don't know what all of that stuff means, watch it back yourself and pause it and look up these acronyms and different things of that nature. If I break down all of this stuff, we'll never get through it. Some of these things you don't really need to break down to a science. You just need to know when he's saying we took a loss here and that is due to this, but we've already countered it by doing that. Okay, they took a loss in revenue. He's probably said how much the revenue was, and he said what it was due to. He didn't say they didn't know where the dollars went, right? And he said they countered it by doing this. And so they already have a plan, and the plan is already working. That's the kind of stuff you need to look for with his financials. One thing that I found interesting on here was talking about how with this SOUNNHOUND chat AI, the driver, they in their driving AI, it can suggest nearest service stations and stuff like that. And then here on this side, telling you how you can clean a couch cover. Then this down here, this was kind of funny. The futuristic car that gives Iron Man a run for his money. Now, if you remember anything about Iron Man, I was very, very impressed when I saw it. When did it drop? 06, 07, I don't know. But Jarvis was his sound AI. It was his voice AI. It talked to him, he talked back to it, and it did things. That's what SOUNNHOUND AI is trying to get to with their voice AI. Something that can talk back, something you can talk to, and you can make things happen. So the fact that from the Daily Mail, they're saying that it gives Iron Man a run for his money. That's pretty impressive.
Strong quarter for us, as the demand for our solutions is accelerating. We have said before that our momentum won't be linear, and we are moving fast to capture the underlying market shifts, which are clearly in our favor. That said, while we are staying ambitious, we want to create the appropriate space to make the right long-term choices for our business. All that said, we are increasing our outlook for 2025 revenue to $160 to $178 million. We still expect to ramp as we exit the year. Q2 was stronger than our initial expectation because of strong close rates on major deals. While we hope to repeat that each and every quarter, sometimes the lumpy nature of these deals can cause quarter-to-quarter volatility. The investments we are making are already showing high returns. We want to stay appropriately measured and aggressive. We are moving towards profitability, and we see that in the near-term horizon. We are being prudent on cost and see meaningful opportunity in cloud integrations and continued workforce optimization, particularly because of the opportunities generative AI is providing us operationally. All that said, we believe we can achieve adjusted EBITDA profitability as we exit 2025. In closing, it's clear that our momentum is real. We know we have a lot of opportunity in front of us, and we are operating with an urgency that reflects our optimism. The path forward may not always be linear, but our approach will remain tenacious. With that, we will now move to Q&A.
All right, before they move to Q&A, and I want to get to Q&A really quickly because I want to hold this one to about an hour. So we got about 10 minutes left as I actually have to run and get some stuff done today. So I can't take it to 2 hours, but I will tell you this. Before they run the Q&A, take a look at SoundHound AI and really go back and listen to this call. Get through the Q&A. I'm gonna end up breaking the Q&A down to several videos, shorter videos, and I'll post them on YouTube after this live. However, if you want to know why to invest in a company and what you should be looking at and how to know it's solid and all of that kind of stuff, you need to watch stuff like this. And if an earnings call goes right over your head, then yeah, you need someone to break it down for you. But the point I wanted to make before he went into Q&A, do you see how many shares that I'm holding? 700, right? And the reason for that is because you shouldn't be like a kid in a candy store when it comes to the stock market. Like, ooh, I like this one. Ooh, I like that one. Let me get 2 of these. Let me get 3 of those. Let me get 4 of those, because that's not going to get you anywhere. But hyper concentration, 700 shares of something, if it moves $1, I just made $700. If you can do that, or where if it moves $1, you just made 10,000. You know what I mean? You need hyper concentration into the companies that you really believe in. Because 3 and 4 shares of this one or that one, it's not going to do you. And then also understand that when it comes to the market right now, for the last 5 years, tech is running amok. Tech is real. I mean, and what has really been doing it specifically? Well, AI has been announced, and businesses have been using this. See, and this is things that you've been walking around using your eyeballs, but you haven't been using vision, right? So sight is nice. It can get you through your day. It can allow you to cross the street without getting hit by a car. But what are you looking at? What deeper? Look deeper at it. What is it? What can it become? Right? And so when you call Navy Federal or USAA or any of your credit unions or banks that you call, and they have that automated service, that is voice AI. We just never knew. We just call it an automated service. No, it's voice AI. That's what it is, right? And companies have really been using that kind of stuff for years. They just called it AI. They just told it to us like a few years ago. So now we're going crazy because we think it's all new, but you haven't been paying attention. It's been in front of you the whole time. And so when you really think about it, SoundHound AI, they're telling you they're embedded in all these different sectors with all these different companies. And these are prominent companies. Again, if you just go to their website and look at, I forget where it was. They're right here. Look, I was circling them during the live. So ASICs. So I don't know these healthcare companies, but this is healthcare right here. So this is a different sector. This is in Vegas. So they're embedded in Vegas. Hyundai. Okay. We already know automotive. Kia, Genesis. Say again.
I work for one of those, that MUSC Health.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I do.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about. I don't see the U.S. Navy here, so my job isn't up there. So, but still, but that's awesome. Lucid. So I actually talked about this one like a quarter ago, that they were doing the voice AI for Lucid and how Lucid was actually struggling. And I said, maybe it was 2 quarters ago, and I said they were going to have to put those Lucid cars on sale. And like, I don't know, a week or 2 later, those Lucid cars went on sale because they weren't moving them. Pandora Music, Jersey Mike's, Applebee's. Casey's, I know, is a restaurant because he said it, but I never heard of this one right here. Chipotle, White Castle, you're going to find this in the Northeast. Eat your heart out if you don't know what I'm talking about. LG, Life's Good. Samsung. NVIDIA is down here. Oracle's down here. So if you don't know what they're into, go to their site, because I'm telling you, you will be better off for knowing what they're actually into. And this is how you should do any company. Go to any company's website, listen to any company's earnings call. That's how you know what they're about. All right, let's get like 2 or 3 of these questions.
Thank you. At this time, we'll conduct the question and answer session. As a reminder, to ask a question, you will need to press *11 on your telephone and wait for your name to be announced. To withdraw your question, please press *11 again. Please stand by while we compile the Q&A roster.
I thought they were going to be ready to go with these questions.
Our first question comes from Jill Luria at D.A. Davidson.
Yes, thank you. You in the prepared remarks, you went through a series of verticals and a lot of progress on all those fronts. But the sequential growth you had was probably the highest you've had in several years. It was all organic. How would you rank the contribution of the different verticals in terms of the contribution to the sequential growth?
Thanks, Gil. I can start on that. Well, I think we're seeing, as we noted, momentum across the board. So it's hard to rank. I can do it numerically, but I think maybe I'll step back and just do it more from an underpinning market momentum. So I do think we're continuing to see great progress on the enterprise side. We're just a few quarters post bringing the Amelia acquisition in-house, and we're making a lot of strides. I noted some of that in the prepared remarks, but it really, I guess, from a category, kind of covers financial services, healthcare, insurance, energy, et cetera. And we've seen great progress. The thing that we noted, hopefully you caught, was it's not only one particular vertical, it's the cross-section that we're now able to bring our products across multiples of them. So for example, we're bringing the enterprise product suite into our restaurant customers. We're being able to kind of bring the best of our platform technology and speech recognition more pervasively across all customers. So we're seeing a lot of traction across the board, but enterprise certainly is doing a great job. Restaurants, we continue to scale. I noted the location growth that we continue to see. This is one where, I said it in prior quarters, restaurants know they need to automate. We see different restaurants focus on different things, from whether it be cost efficiency to revenue and upsell to speed of service. All those factors matter, and we're also seeing it not just with customer-facing opportunities, but also for operational efficiency and back-of-house type of opportunities. And then our auto side, we noted that a big deal, a big win with a major OEM in China, and that just continues to demonstrate like this is a global opportunity. We're leading, our footprint's deepening, and when we bring all this together with what we highlighted with voice commerce, I mean, that's really the flywheel that's going to compound on top of one another, where you naturally interacting with your vehicle as you drive to work, or you watching TV on a Friday evening, or just on the go, being able to do commerce, reservations, appointments, manage a customer support issue. All those things are really building. So it really is truly across the board with just different degrees of positivity. I think ultimately I'd unpack all that to say that voice AI and conversational AI are clearly here, and we're just getting started.
Damn. That is
I
a
want to
great
pick up
answer.
on that particular announcement about the Chinese OEM. Usually when we talk about who you're displacing some legacy providers in auto and restaurants, and to some extent competing with the large, with the big techs and the American big techs and their voice technology. But this is a little different. Who are you competing with to get that business, and how are you able to differentiate? I'm guessing against native Chinese AI companies.
Actually, we do compete against similar names in China also. Maybe there are a couple of them that don't play there, but there are others that do. And in many cases, we go head to head with the legacy providers or the big tech providers, and we win usually on the quality of the technology when they evaluate, accuracy and comprehensiveness of all the features that we can provide. We also have the language coverage that some of the local providers may not necessarily have. And when an automotive OEM in China starts to ship outside of China, then our solution becomes a lot more attractive. But in this particular case, we're also providing the Chinese version of our engine to them.
Got it. Thank you very much.
So he's asking who they're competing against in China,
Thank you.
like legacy
Our
companies.
next question comes from Scott Buck at H.C. Wainwright and Company.
Hi, good afternoon, guys. I'm curious, as demand for AI automation appears to be accelerating, are you seeing any opportunities to improve your selling process or maybe optimize pricing?
That's a great question. Well, we are selling AI to other companies, but we're also using AI internally to improve our processes. For example, compared to 2-3 years ago, there were things that would take several engineers several months to do. Now we can do them with one person in a matter of days. So the improvement is, we're talking about orders of magnitude, but our opportunities have also increased and surpassed that. That's why our headcount has gone up, and we have more engineers working on more things. So definitely it's impacting our development, and we were early to adopt AI in-house. There were some big tech companies, for example, that prohibited their employees to use AI for a while, and we actually were the opposite. We said use AI as much as possible. In terms of outbound sales and marketing, there is some of that exploration happening, but there are regulations also that we need to understand. So we'll have more to say about that in the future.
Easy.
Great, that's helpful. And then second, I'm curious, of your existing customer base, how much of the potential wallet share do you think you have? I mean, is there 50% left in the current customers, or more than that of potential future earnings?
We think, Scott, there's a lot more than what you highlighted. We think we're just early penetration, again, of a new era of how companies will interact with their customers. We think voice AI as a penetration of overall sort of engagement is still pretty low, and so we see a ton of runway there. I think you've seen, I'm sure, just in general, IT budget allocation of total OpEx of many customers across verticals has been growing for a long time, and now within that, the AI allocation of spend has been growing significantly and outpacing where there's trade-offs in other parts of the business line to offset and make sure there's room for AI growth. And then within the AI growth, certainly agentic in particular is just screaming out of the gate. So we think we're really low in penetration. And then the answer has kind of got nuances depending on which particular business we talk about. But if I take auto, for example, it's not only just in terms of like a OpEx budget profile or something, but as we grow and scale with our customers and there's more units out in market for us, that's increased revenue because there's more royalties to get. As we bring new revenue streams, whether that's through restaurant activation of ordering and drive upsell, or whether that's through voice commerce, that's actually expanding from IT budgets to marketing budgets and so forth. So I mean, really, it's a very small penetration, and we think there's a lot more runway.
All right,
Perfect. I
folks.
appreciate the added color, guys. Thank you
That's
very much.
going to do it for this one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break the rest of this. I stopped at 47:44, so I'll mark that. 47:44. I'll just break the rest of it down in smaller chunks. I don't think they took that many questions, being that that's 21 minutes left. So they probably took another, 5 to 10 questions, and that's actually quite a bit for an earnings call. So coupled with the ones we have now. But listen, that Saturday is the financial show, folks. So sometimes we're gonna. I like the shows where we open the mic and we talk about what we're doing, and that's all great. But remember, we do invest in the stock market, and SoundHound AI is one of the ones I invest in. You don't have to, but I invested in it. I think I started investing in this. I saw it at $2, and I think I bought some at $2, and I maybe sold it at 4. But I didn't know what it was back then, but I know what it is now. And at $2, I definitely would have hung on to it and done some more calls. I have 7 50-cent calls on it right now, and the company's doing amazing. So this is what you have to do in order to invest into companies. You have to follow the news. You can't just look at it on when, oh, the stock is surging on Fox News or something. No, you should be in the nitty gritty. So, and Robinhood, that platform makes it easy for you to do that because, yeah, you can look at the charts right here at the top, sure, but you can also come down here, find out who the CEO is, where they're based out of, how many employees they have, when it was founded. There's amplifying information down here. It shows you some of the financials right here. You can go down here and find some news clippings and articles of what they're doing. It says it's down 27% in 2025, and it may even talk about why. They were coming off a super strong year of over 200% growth. So I think they were just the dust was resettling there. That's all I think it was. You can look at the buy and sell volume of the shares. You can look at what the analysts are saying. They're saying 70% buy it, right? You can look at where they projected their share price to be and where it actually was. So all of this stuff is you can find this on Robinhood. You can find what they're about on their website. But this is how you get excited about a company, and this is how you can stand in confidence saying, I know my money's going to a good place, right? The last thing I heard, I'll share this. I heard this week it was somebody famous too, saying, John Hope Bryant. I was listening to one of his videos. If you don't know who that is, John Hope, like the word, Bryant, like Kobe, or my last name, no relation. Not that I know of. He was saying that a wise man once said, save your money because one day your money is going to save you. Now, when you say save your money, don't just save your money. I think he's just saying stop your money from leaving your hand on stupid stuff, right? Stop swiping and buying on Amazon stuff you don't need. Stop doing all the nice to haves. Forget about the car you're rolling in. Just get a car that's working. Stop your money from going out of your hand on stupid stuff and then invest it. Because unless it's invested, again, the great not yet late Warren Buffett said, if you do not find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. That's all I got for y'all today, folks. I hope you have a great weekend. And I really, really look forward to the next one. I'm going to have another show lined up. Now, if I may do an open the mic session on that one like we did for the last couple of ones, or I may actually go over the Robinhood Summit. We have to go into some of this stuff. If I can't, if we're going to open the mic on Saturday, then I may just break down the Robinhood Summit in smaller videos on YouTube. But that's all I got for you today. Y'all have a great weekend.